What dynamic did Klay bring back to the starting lineup tonight?
Just obviously his gravity, his ability to give us spacing on the floor. I think it was an effort to unlock J.K. and Wiggs, give them driving lanes and get them more involved earlier in the game. Obviously Miami they're really kind of sneaky in some of the defensive schemes they have, and zone, man, different coverages, Bam protecting the rim. So it's helpful to have Klay out there doing what he does, and it's a credit to him just in general on being able to respond to whatever he's been asked to do this year, whether it's coming off the bench, whether it's starting. Most people think that might be, I don't know, maybe they think it's easy to just transition from one to the other, and it's not. You have to kind of prepare your mind to, and your body to be ready for whatever, is thrown at you. So it's credit to him and his attitude and his preparation and, going out there and hooping the way he does.
Steph, you guys held the Heat to 40% shooting in the second half, and I believe 37 combined points after them shooting about 51% in the first half. What was the biggest change for you guys on that side of the floor?
Just playing a little bit more physical. We kept getting beat on back cuts, and even whether they scored or not, it was causing our defense to have to react, and then they would open up either a three for somebody in a corner or just a breakdown that would give them space. I think we got a little bit more discipline in the second half. It's the NBA. There's so much talent out there. Obviously, they're missing a lot of guys. But if you give them confidence and their patterns start to attack you, that's when they're lethal. I don't care who's out there. So we were very much more disciplined in the second half to keep things in front of us, make them take tough shots, and you live with it.
Steph, Bam's talked about in the past, there was a play in his rookie year where he was guarding you, and it was kind of the play that put him on the defensive map. I'm just wondering number one, if you remember that play, and two, just what are the ways you've seen him develop defensively and kind of matching up in that way?
I do remember that play for sure. It was in this building. He's versatile. He's long. He can move his feet. He's obviously a great rim protector, and there's a reason they've been in the finals twice. Obviously, what Jimmy's able to do and the guys around him, but Bam's a huge part of connecting the game on both ends. He's obviously a great weapon on the offensive end with his. He can put pressure on the rim. He's got mid-range. He hit a three tonight. They run a lot of actions around him. So then you add that to the defensive, presence. That's why he's an all-star. That's why he is who he is.
Steph, there's a lot of teams that can make a reasonable argument why they're going to be the team at the end that wins the whole thing. Is this the most parity? Would you even call it that? Is this the most parity that you can remember? And is it good that there's a lot of teams that clearly have stepped up in recent years and can compete for the whole thing?
It's great for the league. It hasn't been good for us this year. We've been on a nice run since January 1st and haven't really made up any ground in the conference standings. But yeah, you want to see capable teams all around the league. I think on paper, right, like it's names in the Western Conference and it's great teams, and the combination of all of that to your point, it wouldn't be a surprise if any of the top 10, 11, whatever made a run. Obviously Denver being the champs and still at the top of the standings, they're the champs until somebody beats them, and even on the other side. So yeah, it's great to see that much competition, and I'm sure it'll be a show down the stretch of the season and the playoffs with whatever matchups happen, and a lot of excitement around the league.
Steph, Klay said that the team is confident to make a push towards the playoff. What does the team need to do better to make that big push?
Play a brand of basketball like we did tonight. I think we were like I said, in the second half, we were a lot more disciplined, a lot more physical on defense. We took care of the basketball tonight, which is a big deal for us, the way that we play. Kept the turnovers down, created some really good looks, but can't get too ahead of ourselves. Just take it. I know y'all love that answer. Take it a game at a time. But honestly, that's our only way to get to where we want to go, because it's been a wild roller coaster of emotions this year for us.
Steph, the Heat are known for kind of doing everything they can to take away the other team's best player. I know you played against them for years and you faced every coverage, but going into a game like this tonight, how does that affect your mentality, knowing that, you can get these, force two to the ball possessions and other guys will be open, or does it mix you up in any way, not knowing what type of defenses they're going to run?
It challenges you to kind of see the game, and I was kind of talking about earlier, whether it's a zone possession, a man possession, they were pressing. It tests your patience for sure, because you don't know when your looks are going to come. You're going to see bodies. I think there was a couple possessions I came off of pin downs and caught it, and there were two people there, got by them. There's another person back there, and we swing, we got a good look. They were trapping off of ISO possessions and get the ball out of your hands and swing it, find the open guy. They got Loon that dunked down in the fourth quarter because they were paying a lot of attention to our perimeter. So as long as you just stay patient and see what's in front of you, keep your turnovers down, don't get rushed, then whether I'm taking a shot or we're getting a good look, that's good offense.
And you mentioned the roller coaster of the year, obviously with emotions and quick turnaround for you guys with Orlando. But what stands out to you to some bit of the success that you guys have had on the road?
That's why we think we're still a good team that can beat anybody, because we can. Our defense can travel. We've had good performances. Even at home, we've had big leads on good teams, but have let them slip. So, we don't. Our record doesn't. You are what your record is. I mean, that's what the line is. But we do feel like we've kind of underachieved on that front, but there's still belief that you can get hot, that you can establish the identity that you need to have to be a team that can win 4 games against anybody in the Western Conference in a playoff series. And until we don't have that opportunity anymore, we're going to still believe it.
Just to follow up on the earlier questions about the way the Heat toggle between defensive schemes, why do you think more teams don't play that way?
You have to be a very disciplined team and a very connected team, because it requires a lot of trust and communication. Obviously, have a great coach that year after year, they have their core, but they find guys that plug those holes and play a certain brand of basketball. So if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
How good has Klay been for an extended stretch now?
He's been great. Like I was talking about earlier, I think there's nobody that could handle the kind of, whether you're off the bench, you're starting, how many minutes you playing, and in comparison to his entire career and his body of work, nobody can handle it like Klay in the sense of, just being prepared, accepting his, what he's asked to do and going out and performing. And I think he shot the ball extremely well as of late. He's been very consistent, and he's given us a huge boost in whatever role he's played. So it's a challenge. He could have gone the other way in the sense of, resisting the evolution of what he's been asked to do this year. And he's responded extremely well. We need that energy because he gives us so much on that front, like he did tonight.
Cool. Thank you.